Frenchie. By the way, I want to know. I saw reports I was looking at because I was confused when Frenchie told Homelander that I have big golden balls, and Homelander looked at him with a smirk, and then we saw bleeding from the stomach. Some people said he lasered his balls off before leaving. I want to know your thoughts on that, because I promise you, I don't believe the boys would have lost that chance to show him getting his balls lasered off, because that is like the purest form of what this show has been since it started. And in the last 2 episodes, you get ball lasers. I'm pretty sure you would have saw it. So do you think that he lasered off his set, or do you think that it was just part of the radiation and it does like what we saw early in the show, which I think it actually is, and the radiation made him bleed from his which I think is actually crazy. But let me know your thoughts on that. But as y'all said at the end of this episode, my guy Frenchie appears to be gone. And I know I saw some rumors, but even of the next episode, and I'm gonna just say this on the rumors of the next episode, y'all let me know y'all thoughts on it as well. I don't believe him, because some of it doesn't even make sense. That somehow we'll see Soldier Boy at the beginning of the episode, but we saw he frozen in this episode, but it didn't mention he was frozen. Like, we just see him and then he's not seen no more. I'm like, of course he's frozen with Homelander, so why would we see him again? That part didn't make sense. And this is just any spoiler, and I'm just giving you like the most mundane spoiler, because again, I don't want to spoil it just in case. But yeah, I hated that because I don't think it's real. So anybody watching that, let me know your thoughts if you think it's real or not. But let's get into this episode. OVR. This episode had a bunch of just like finishing up things, which I still don't think the show in one episode can finish up a lot of things it has put out. We saw the 2 kids from Gen V, Mariah, and I can't remember the other girl's name. I just had it, but I'm not redoing this video. So, and don't have much time to edit, so I do apologize for that. But what do y'all think? Because they added them, and we not getting another Gen V episode or series. We getting them 2 in this episode. And I don't know where it goes from this, because I'm like, why would you bring these 2 here unless they have an important mission? And then we saw, of course, the Mariah, the blood girl. I'm hoping I'm saying her name right. The blood girl. We saw at the end of Gen V, she learned how to control her powers pretty well. Not to the extent Starlight is right, because they meet them at the beginning. That I don't think she has enough to Homelander, who can probably like speed blitz her, so she would have to have like complete control of his blood. I don't know if she's that powerful yet, but maybe we'll see in the next episode. But we see also them giving chemical radiation, which, just like Soldier Boy, she is like kind of immortal. I don't think she's fully immortal like Soldier Boy, so it's not like it's effective on her, but they're trying to recreate it for chemical to have. So I'm looking, so she keeps bleeding, she keeps struggling, but then she heals up. The healing process is getting slower. She is begging for it because she's like, this is the only way to stop this madman who just ended the president of the United States in the White House, because he wanted to disband Congress and he didn't do it. And then he asked Ashley to read his mind. By the way, we get back to Ashley in a minute. And she said he doesn't fully believe. He thinks he's a little psychotic, in which he squishes his head. And I'm gonna be honest, I know that at the end they said he can't see through zinc, but this Homelander felt like the Homelander we should have probably got the entire end of the season. Not that I want to critique too much on the show and the writers and all that. I don't know their whole situation, but I do feel like this Homelander should have been what we saw, because this kind of the Homelander we saw in episode 1. So it's like we only getting this Homelander in episode 1, 7, and 8. He's always a little crazy, so of course he kidnapped his father, but that's part of his character. He's insane. So people that don't like that part, it was part of his character in episode 1. He always want to be loved. He always want to be attention. He loved his father, and the people he loved, he's psychotic over, and he would never harm. Just like he still sent old girl as an angel with big. It's Soldier Boy said. So he, of course, like I said, he kidnapped. This is the this is the Homelander I expected to see throughout the season. More ruthless. But a lot of times he was just, I don't know. Y'all, let me know in the comments. What do you think Homelander was this season? Because I don't know. It seemed like only this episode 7, I liked Homelander for the most part. I've liked him throughout most of the other seasons, but this season it's kind of been like weird for him. It's kind of like he's just been like a sidekick to Soulja Boy for a lot, and he's just a lot dumber. Because this season, even though last year he was kind of dumb too, but he wasn't quite this far. But like episode 1, I don't think he was really dumb, and this episode I don't think he was really dumb outside of not being able to see through zinc. But if he can't see through zinc, I'm pretty sure that he's probably in a hurry and his mind ain't on it to care. So I can explain it away. But yeah, he chokes out Soulja Boy and puts him in the freezer container after he tried to leave, and he told him, "It's not me, it's you. Good luck, kid, because I don't want to hang around you because you're weird." Which, like I said, him being weird and doing stupid things like he did in this episode is his character. It's his character in the comic books. It's his character the first season. It's always been his character. Even in the first season, he was more threatening. But at the same time, he was still silly. He drank some milk, which they kind of, like, if you notice the show, they mix powers and stuff, which is like another thing that happened in spoilers I don't think is serious either, because I don't think it's true, because it doesn't make sense. And they don't even finish why it would make sense. I don't get it. But so yeah, he he put his dad back on ice, as he is now looking for Sister Sage, and he fires the Deep, by the way. And now the Deep is afraid to swim because the fish, aka Samuel Jackson, say, "Remember March 15th, mother," and start threatening him, which I thought was hilarious. I actually enjoyed that part. That was one of my favorite parts of this show. Just randomly hearing Samuel Jackson. I even showed my friend in like at work when it was like they put Samuel L. Jackson as a hammer shark fist. Shark. I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed that. That was fantastic. There's a great surprise too. But yeah, they asked the Deep for good publicity and to save that man, and he ran away because he's scared of water because the fish are threatening him. And now he's not even in the 5 or 7, because I called it the 5 because they don't have 5 people. Even Homelander bring it up. We haven't had 7 people in so long. We haven't had 7 people since the first season, so I don't know what you're talking about. And the Deep gets fired. "I wish you well in all your future endeavors." Meaning, he did all of that. All his fish friends perished out of jealousy between him and Black Noir, competing for a position that's no longer available. He now has taken over the role of Jesus after Jesus in his fake play gave him his rights in this stupid play that when people didn't believe 100%, they all was supposed to get slaughtered by Kitty Lady who ate a rat's head off, and some weird Wolverine dude who was sniffing her, and they just walking around in circles as Mother's Milk and them watch. Oh, we did get a cameo from old boy who is also from Supernatural, who plays great roles in this way. And I can't remember his name either right now, so I apologize. I just watched it and go. But we got his cameo. He told the story about Butcher, and Butcher always gets his man, but everybody else is sacrificed when he do it. And he told him it was true, but they tricked the soup we saw early on, who can read people's minds and stuff. They tricked him and then ended him, but it was too late because he already told Soulja Boy. And essentially, Soulja Boy goes, finds Frenchie, and everything I told you happened. And apparently, Frenchie dies from the radiation because he's a regular human being. Of course, he will, because human beings can't survive radiation. And that was the show. I enjoyed episode 7. I still don't think they have anywhere near enough time to finish this in episode 8 and make it make sense. Vault Rising is supposed to be a prequel. And I feel like you should probably start finishing stuff, because I think Homelander I don't think Homelander and Butch gonna make it. So Vault Rising probably should be just Soulja Boy story in a way, because that's what they want to do. I think they also went too far and doing it. I hear the chatter on the internet, and I agree. They went way too far on making it more about showcasing Vault Rising. We saw too much about Soulja Boy's past, and he had too much screen time for him getting an actual show. that I'm like, why did you spend so much time on this when he has a show that's coming out that literally can explain all this? We saw all his old friends, the whole story, everything. I'm like, you could have cut all that out and we could have had a better story, but you wanted to add that to it before the show, even though you could have put it in the show. You could even had all these people in the show. Why did we spend so much, a whole episode looking for this person who's in a wall? Why did we have to spend a whole episode looking for the, I get it though, Jensen Ackles, they all meet together again for the one supernatural time with Mel Chemical and the marathon. And they had this one final moment in the season. I thought you could have did that in Vault Rising, but you did it this year. But did you have to dedicate a whole episode to it? Did you have to dedicate a whole episode to his best friend? What about, did you have to dedicate a whole episode to his brother? We having a show, Vault Rising, and you could have just had, that could have been an important part, I know, to end the story, but you could have just had that quicker and made the episode more about everybody else and how whatever. Again, I don't know how much time they had. I don't know what the request was. I don't know if they told them to set it up, so I don't want to just bash the writers too much because I don't know too much about it. But again, I feel like you wasted too much time on Soldier Boy in this show, in this episode. He still could have had everything he did, but in a quicker pace and give more to the story, that we can finish a lot of things that we should have had, and we could have had some of these other characters that could have gave them more time. Because I guess we will know all the characters before Vault Rising comes now. We will know all the characters. We have seen them, most of them. But who do I know? Let me know your thoughts. How did you feel about most of this season? Do you feel like we spent too much time on Soldier Boy or not enough? Because I know he's a popular character because he's funny. He's amazing. My boy is an amazing actor. We saw Sam and Dean again with Castiel. And we have seen most of the Supernatural characters. It was fantastic. I enjoyed it. I popped over it. But let me know your thoughts. And remember, it's not me, it's you. Keep stopping. Something amazing can happen. It's not me, it's you.